What are my chances at Harvard and Stanford? It's a good question. It's one that we get asked a lot. To answer this question, I need to give you a bit of a framework for how to think about it. You probably already know, if you've read their class profiles, that Harvard has an overall acceptance rate around 10% and Stanford around 6%. This is not the full story. What's hidden within that is that there's a large number of firms that send people to these schools year after year after year. Same firms sending multiple people to the schools every year. I don't think it's going to surprise you who these firms are. So there's the big buyout firms, think, Blackstone, Carlyle, KKR, Warburg. There's the consulting firms, McKinsey, Bain, or BCG. There's also the banks, maybe Goldman, JP Morgan. At these firms just have a long, kind of deep relationship with the schools at many different levels. So imagine that the partners or the execs at the firm may be alumni themselves. As very successful alumni, they may have donated money to the school. They might serve on the dean's advisory board. Maybe they come back for panel discussions, and they certainly come back to the school to recruit new people and hire them, give them great jobs every year. When these people put in a recommendation for one of their candidates, the schools listen very, very closely. And these applicants coming from these firms, if the rest of their background is in order, good GMAT scores, good academics, then they have a dramatically higher chance to be accepted than what the overall averages would suggest. On the flip side, this means that if you take that 10% at Harvard, after the seats that have been given to these firms, these frequent flyers, is there 6% left? Is there 7% left? We don't know exactly, but the point is that the odds for everyone else are lower. Even, besides what I've already described, you may not know that the admissions directors at Harvard and Stanford go to these firms and do private info sessions. So employees of the firm only, closed meeting, the admissions director is laying out, what the school is looking for, how to maximize your chances. If you still have great test scores, great undergraduate background, interesting job, you have some chance and you can definitely consider to apply, even if you may be more likely to be declined than accepted. Within this group, people always ask, they will say, my story is a little bit different, my story is special, isn't that going to make me stand out? So the answer is yes, but you need to be aware of what counts as special in this pool. In this application pool, among others, you might see Olympic athletes, you might see people who had worked with the president, you might see combat operators from SEAL Team 6. So what is special? It needs to be really very special to make a difference to Harvard or Stanford. Otherwise, if your GMAT scores simply are not in line, you went to a school that isn't well respected by them, a kind of lower tier school, you work for a company that not many people have heard of, our advice in that case is save your time, put it into applications on other schools. So that's how we break down your odds at Harvard and Stanford.